What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Friday edition of Burn It Down with Kim Brown. This is a space where we safely set things ablaze because it's not really a safe space out in the world for a lot of things, for both actions and speech. But we do what we want over here until the Google overlords tell us otherwise. Isn't that right, class? That's right. I'd like to welcome everybody and thank you all so much for making some time with me today on this Veterans Day. I don't know what that means. Veterans Day versus Memorial Day. It's all a reason for consumerism in America. There's always a good reason for a holiday sale, isn't that right, guys? So I don't know if Veterans Day is something that means something to you. Happy Veterans Day. If not, sure, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, so there's that. Hey, I appreciate y'all coming on through. I'm gonna go ahead and get here in the chat. I got a good show for y'all tonight. This is gonna be a Maryland focused show. So you guys buckle up and get ready to get a bunch of local news splashed on that ass because my state has been wilding as of late. As of late. And I keep trying to tell y'all Maryland, let me not speak for DC. Let me not speak for Virginia. I know we like to categorize the whole region, DMV. Let me only speak for Maryland. I'm born and raised, lived in Maryland. Maryland is not as progressive as advertised. Not as progressive as advertised. And the bougie niggas of Maryland remained stunningly on brand this week when the news was announced that the FBI would move its headquarters to Prince George's County, Maryland, which is my community. I am not happy about that. And guys, some unexpected folks are also not happy about that. And I have feelings, I have conflictions, I'm feeling contradictions. I'm feeling all kinds of ways. We're going to get into that story in a bit. And then I wanted to give you all the story of Marilyn Mosby. I've been telling you all that Marilyn Mosby is in trouble. Marilyn Mosby, the former state's attorney for Baltimore, Marilyn Mosby, the woman who prosecuted Keith Davis Jr. over and over and over and over again until it just got to be so ridiculous. Keith lost 7 years of his life behind the wall because of fucking Marilyn Mosby and her bullshit. And now, to quote a infamous Baltimore activist, Marilyn Mosby and Keith Davis Jr. about to trade places. Keith Davis Jr. has been released from jail now going on several months, but it looks like Marilyn might be about to go in. There was a verdict in one of her federal trials. I'll give you guys the update coming there, even though y'all some smart ends. Y'all probably know what's up, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. Just act surprised. Act like you haven't heard it if you have indeed heard it. Let me pull up the chat. Thank you all so much. Give the video a like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, whatever the goofy things want you to do on YouTube. Also, if you don't mind, comment on the shit. Even if you just write comments. Some of y'all do this so well. And I'm so appreciative that you all placate the algorithm on my behalf. So thank you so much for just just writing comment. That is totally acceptable. That absolutely works for me. If you want to support the channel material, oh shit, they're running commercials on my shit. If you want to support the channel materially, what kind of commercial is this? Hold on, let me see what this is. What these niggas talking about? I don't even know what this goofy shit be saying. It's some bad music. Now you know that is not the brand. The playing of bad music on my channel is not the brand. We need to have a conversation with YouTube about that. If you want to support the channel materially, you can do so. $ BIDWKB via Cash App, at BIDWKB via Venmo, PayPal.me/BIDWKB. PayPal and patreon.com/BIDWKB. And you can run us some super chats as well. Thank you guys so much for all the support. What's up, Wendy? What's up, Fronnie? Now, y'all know I cannot half-ass fucking read. Who would kill? Oh, there go Donnie. And shout out to, there go Latif. Shout out to the mods, Latif and Court. What's up to Holly? I'm sorry. Why am I talking like this? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't ask. I don't know. Bagheera's in the background, tap, tap, tapping, even though I just took her outside. For all those keeping score, keeping note. What's up, Swear Furry? For all those keeping score, yes, it is Bagheera's birthday next week, next Wednesday. The quinceanera is in full effect. My dog, for y'all who may not know and may not have been following me for a long time, I have a very old pit bull who still wants to fight other dogs. uh, November 15th, she will be 15 ginormous years old. She is a Scorpio. Typical, yeah. Shout out to Stoner Loner. What's up, baby? Oh, what's up, Steve? What's up, Tyler? So Bagheera is a bully, as a bully breed, as a pit bull. She bullies me all the time. She bullies me into feeding her. She bullies me into letting her out. She bullies me into taking her for walks. She bullies me. What's up, Lady Alex? She bullies me into a lot of things. So, in celebration of her life, next Wednesday we will be uh having her quinceanera because Bagheera's the old thug out here. Every time a dog walks by and she can see the dog, right? It's always roof, 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 roof. And I just envision, I'm like, imagine if she was a human. So there would be some 100-year-old woman standing on her porch talking shit, literally threatening to fight all the young people walking by. Like, I mean, that's how you need to think of Bagheera in her thuggy behavior, even at her ginormous fucking age. You guys, 15 years for a dog. Was it 7 years dog years? Okay, should the Bagheera will be 105. And if she got a chance to run up on a dog or uh she doesn't exactly run anymore, limp up on a dog, slow walk, hard pimp up on a dog, she would absolutely try to fight the dog. She would absolutely try to bite the dog because she's crazy. She's a nut. And you guys should have seen her when she was 5. She was unruly, just a completely unwielding will of an animal, this dog. That's amazing. It's amazing I've kept her alive. Teresa, it's amazing I've kept this dog alive this long because she's fucking crazy. She's nuts. Anyway, thank you guys for entertaining and enduring a Bagheera story. Let me go on and get here to my first story, gang, gang. Do me a favor, like the video, thumbs up, subscribe, share, all the good algorithmic things. I brought this up on the Remix Morning Show this week because it's news. It's news that affects my community, and I don't like the shit. I'm very unhappy with this recent turn of events. So here's the news. The news came out this week that the GSA, the Government Service Administration, basically the Biden administration, has come to a decision when it comes to the location of the new FBI headquarters. Yes, the fuzz, the fuzz, the fuzz. The FBI, yes, the COINTELPRO FBI, yes, the same FBI that mailed letters to Martin Luther King Jr. telling him to kill himself, the same FBI that helped to manipulate the whole situation in which Malcolm X was eventually assassinated, the same FBI that set up Fred Hampton Jr. for assassination by the Chicago Police Department, the same FBI that to this present day has infiltrated Black liberation organizations in order to disrupt and to cause chaos to the organizational efforts of Black liberation organizations right now in the 21st century. The fucking FBI, founded by J. Edgar Hoover, the piece of racist piece of shit who did everything to assassinate and imprison Black liberation leaders throughout the civil rights movement and since, right? So a terrible agency, as all American law enforcement is, but the FBI has a singular place as being a ginormous piece of feces that has caused really irreparable harm to our movement, right? And to our people and to our communities as a whole. So, the fucking FBI, Joe Biden's administration decides that the best location for the new FBI headquarters, they are currently situated in downtown Washington, D.C., prime real estate location, by the way. So now they need to move. And Greenbelt, Maryland, and Prince George's County, Maryland, has been the designated spot. The location in Greenbelt, Maryland is over 60 acres, right? It's a 60-acre location owned currently by Metro, the Washington Metro Transportation Authority, WMATA, right? I have a question. I'm gonna get into the story, but I have a question. So currently the FBI is housed in a building in downtown DC, in a fucking building, right? 61 acres is the Greenbelt spot, right? That sounds like a campus. That sounds like you could put a lot of buildings over 61 acres. It sounds, dare I say, like a what? A cop city. Maybe not as big as the cop cities proposed in Atlanta, maybe comparable in size to some other smaller proposed cop campuses. I need to know why the FBI, who has a training location in Northern Virginia. You've probably heard of Quantico, Virginia, the FBI training location. They do all that fucking the TV shit that they do on all the, the cop dramas that American networks love to serialize and glorify, the FBI, Quantico, all the shit, right? So Quantico is where the FBI, they do all their training shit there. What the fuck y'all need 61 acres in Greenbelt, Maryland for? Unless y'all plan on doing some shit there. Sounds like the buddings of a federal cop city. I may have that wrong, but I don't think so. So the first place I want to start here, because there's a lot. Because first of all, I'm sorry, that was my little primer in case you weren't familiar with the situation. Since this announcement this week about the FBI headquarters being designated in Prince George's County, Maryland, the shit has turned into a fucking scandal locally. Everyone's pissed off, except, of course, the fucking bougie, the Sambo ass niggas like Wes Moore and the rest of the other black misleadership class who are celebrating this victory, this bringing of the FBI, an agency and an institution designated to kneecap black freedom. They are so happy that this headquarters is coming to Prince George's County, Maryland, one of the blackest places in this city, only second to Baltimore City, Maryland. Just to give you an idea, it's black out here in PG County. It's black. It's real black. Okay. But Virginia is pissed off. Tim Kaine and Mark Warner, the two senators from Virginia, are mad. They want an investigation. I said, oh shit. The FBI director, Christopher Wray, wrote a shit-talking memo to FBI employees saying there was some funny business involved. Oh no, it's scandal time. It's scandalous behind this situation right here. And the fact that the whites are mad, things are going to be looked into. Okay, the blacks are happy and the whites are mad. Oh no. We're gonna have to review this process because the balance of power is off here when it comes to this particular situation. So hold on, I want us to run to, let me give y'all the lowdown on the goddamn thing. So let's go to that WUSA 9 package if we could. Here, Will. And the package is basically gonna start off with this goofy ass nigga fucking Wes Moore. Jesus, I've seen too much of Wes Moore's face this week and I'm displeased about it. Okay, because people without facial hair who are over the age of 40 should not be fucking trusted, numero uno. Okay, and I'm sorry, like, black bougie Sambo ass misleadership niggas who are so happy that the FBI is coming to a black community. I knew I was right about this motherfucker. I knew this shit. I knew that. Anyway, so I want us to take a look at this package because, again, the black misleadership of Maryland, the Democratic black leadership of Maryland, is just celebrating this shit way too much. And then you're going to hear from the angry whites like Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine is angry, but there are more whites that are even angrier than Tim Kaine, and I have mixed feelings about it. So anyway, this package is from WUSA 9 here in DC. Will, let's check that out.
Yeah, Michelle, it's going to be very close to the Greenbelt Metro Station. And look, everyone knew this decision, which was years and years in the making, would leave one state very happy and another very upset. Tonight, Virginia is furious. Maryland is giddy.
We're thrilled. The GSA made the final decision, and the FBI building is coming to the state of Maryland.
Maryland Governor Wes Moore could not contain his delight after the GSA announced Thursday that a 62-acre site near the Greenbelt Metro Station in Prince George's County will be the home for the new FBI headquarters.
For the 5 criteria, Maryland won on. And so we're thankful. The building is going to happen in Maryland. It's going to happen in Prince George's County, and I could not be more excited about it.
The state of Maryland has already put aside some $200 million to begin infrastructure improvements on a project expected to take years to complete and cost billions of dollars. Other regional leaders say financial equity in the form of economic development and employment opportunities for Prince George's County residents is reason to celebrate.
These decisions where these federal job centers are located have the power to transform the economic profile of a jurisdiction for generations.
But U.S. Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia,
this is shocking. It's shocking.
Believes the selection process was flawed and politicized to the point that he and his delegation are now trying to figure out how to restart this process.
The administration should reverse the decision that they announced and should do what was unanimously recommended by the professionals that were in charge of analyzing the best site for the FBI. This is not over.
They're fighting for their residents, and I'm fighting for mine. I'm fighting to make sure that the people who are here and across this state have the opportunity to see the same sort of generational wealth that they have seen. And so that's what this is about, is everyone understands if this was not valuable, you wouldn't see what you're seeing today, is the pushback.
Now, we didn't receive a whole lot of specifics from that Virginia delegation today, but we certainly know that they're going to do their best to try to reverse this decision or to restart it in some way, shape, or form. We know that federal funding is involved, so Congress is going to be involved. So there's that, something that often is unpredictable, as we know. I should stress, though, that Governor Moore said today, this afternoon, that this is over and that shovels are going to be going into the ground. We don't know when, though. Reporting live in Maryland, Jay Korfs.
See, that's how I knew Westmore is not from Maryland. You know how I know Westmore is not from fucking Maryland? Because Westmore is underestimating the anger of the whites. Okay. Now, I even understand it's not even Maryland whites that is angry, it's Virginia whites. But Westmore, these are senators we're talking about. This is Tim Kaine. This was Hillary Clinton's running mate. This is Mark Warner. This is these are not men with no power in the town of Washington. I understand the Biden administration says their decision is final, but white men are speaking, sir. Okay, like I mean, shit can get changed off the words of white folks. What's more, if you was from here, you would know this, but you're not. So you apparently you don't, and that's your fault. A couple of things here. So, I hope you guys paid slight attention to the mention of FBI Director Christopher Wray, who wrote a letter. If you could pop up that tweet for me, Will, who wrote a letter to FBI employees dated October the 12th, where Christopher Wray has made overt questions into this decision and into this process. More specifically, Director Wray alleges that the GSA panel, which is supposed to be some sort of 3-person panel that was ultimately making the decision for where this location for the FBI headquarters would it be in Prince George's County, Maryland? Would it be in Northern Virginia, in Springfield, Virginia, right? Is it the Simpson Springfield? Who can say? We could definitely give Springfield, Virginia, the nod for potentially being the Springfield of the Simpsons. But let me that was just that just took a detour. Let me get back on the road. Anyway, if you heard in the package, or maybe you didn't, but the 3-person panel from the GSA, the Government Services Agency administration, all 3 people voted for Virginia. All 3 of them voted for Virginia. All 3 voted for Virginia to be the location. Those 3 people were overridden by a higher up in the GSA who is no longer with the agency, instead has made a transition to Mayor Muriel Bowser's administration. Mayor Muriel Bowser, obviously the mayor of Washington, D.C. But prior to working at the GSA, this bureaucrat was a Metro employee. And this land is owned by Metro in Greenbelt, Maryland, right? So Director Wray is while apparently not taking specific issue with the Greenbelt location per se, his issue is with the lack of what he calls the lack of transparency of the thing, right? Of the whole process. Yes, FBI Director Christopher Wray said last month that he could not accept federal officials' decisions to relocate the agency's headquarters from downtown Washington to the Maryland suburb, according to a letter obtained by the Washington Post. And that's what the gist of the letter contained. Um, so, in response today to some of all of this kerfuffle, Will, if you could pull up the clip of Glenn Ivey from taken by reporter William Ford of Maryland Matters. Again, the Black Miss Leadership class joined the white Miss Leadership class at a press conference today. It was Westmore, Melonhead Ass, along with Prince George's County Executive Angela Also Brooks. Who else was there? Everybody was fucking there. It was Van Hollen, bitch ass was there. Ben Carr and bitch ass was there. Steny Hoyer showed up. It was all the usual suspects. They was all, it was a bunch of this. It was a bunch of all jerking each other off. I'm like, ugh. Hate y'all. Glenn Ivey. Anyway, Glenn Ivey. That's who we're about to see. Glenn Ivey's my congressman. Representing Maryland's 4th district. Ugh. Our past 3 Congress people have just been absolutely just, it's like each one, the next one worse than the last. Jesus. So here come Glenn Ivey taking up for this lady that Christopher Wray vaguely, referenced in his letter to FBI agents. And listen, this is an excerpt. This was shot by Maryland Matters, William Ford. But listen to Glenn Ivey. Let's just listen to what he had to say. Just taken up. Just be taken up for. Go ahead, Will.
Because he's the guy who leads law enforcement in the United States. I'm on the House Judiciary Committee, so I've sat there for hearings where the Republicans on the other side are hurling irresponsible allegations at him about the FBI and him and some of his, and he defends them, and he's outraged when they do that. The statements he made about that public servant were just over the line, and there was no factual basis for it, none at all. And he knew that she wouldn't have a platform to respond to that kind of thing. So I just think it's disappointing, to say the least, that he would do that. And then on top of that, you're going to complain about the process. He never mentioned anything about the merits. In fact, our Virginia colleagues never did either. Wonder why that is.
So some of the merits that Glenn Ivey is referencing, did you see Westmore old bobblehead ass? I'm nodding shit. Nigga, shut up. The merits. Okay, first of all, there are no merits. Okay. All right, let me rephrase. Let me back out. Because what the politicians in the elected class are talking about are the billions of dollars that are going to be spilt. Yes, maybe spilt is the right word. Spilt on this project. Okay. I haven't heard a firm number. But they have already allotted, I believe, $500 million Congress has for this project. I think the initial ask for monies was $1.5 billion, but that might have been way back in 2009 when this process began low almost 15 years ago, right? But the merits, the so-called benefits touted by these leaders are 7,500 jobs, right? And for it to be a federal property center to I guess anchor some economic growth, right? And to some extent, these people are not wrong about that. When you look around the Maryland suburbs, look around the Beltway, even into Northern Virginia, what you will find, for example, in Montgomery County, Maryland, very high income area, there are a lot of healthcare centers. The National Institutes of Health are anchored in Bethesda. There's a tech corridor in the off 270 in Montgomery County with like Boeing and all these other bitch ass niggas. Like there's a lot. I mean that. I guess everybody's not a bitch ass nigga, but you guys understand what I'm saying. A bunch of corporations. I mean, there's a lot of businesses that are headquartered in Maryland. Northern Virginia, similar things. And then with the federal properties there, the Pentagon and all that other bullshit. On PG side, I don't really have that. There's a couple of things. The U.S. Census moved to Suitland, Maryland, which is in Prince George's County. And then there's University of Maryland and Bowie State University. But there's not a whole lot of federal shit in PG County. That is correct. But the FBI ain't it. Okay, like y'all could put any fucking thing over here. You could put the Department of Interior, you could put Department of Transportation, you could put a rack of shit over here. It did not have to be the FBI. Does not have to be the FBI, especially with the very unique relationship that that agency has to the Black community. I think it is a slap in the face to a community such as Prince George's County to bring such an institution to this place for their headquarters and then try to sell it to the residents as jobs. It's going to bring 7,500 jobs and it's going to be an economic driver in the community. You know what else? You know where else, y'all? Was a place that had a lot of jobs. It was an economic driver in the community, a fucking plantation. Okay. There was lots of jobs on the fucking plantation. The plantation was an economic driver in the fucking community. It does not mean the plantation was good for Black people, right? Black people had jobs. Black people were part of the economic machine, and the engine. Was it good for Black people? Fuck no. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. And you guys, I've long told you that this platform, and Black Power Media, we operate as propaganda arms for our folks. We try to get messages out to not only our people, but to people that are looking for a different perspective, different, more Black and left than the mainstream media, right? And I don't have a big channel, but I have to say I am impressed by the sphere of my influence. And let me show you, I'm going to tell you what I'm getting at. Because as much as I disagree with this project, as much as I have disagreed with this project leading up to this announcement, others must have been heeding the call. Others have been heeding the call. And sometimes, and sometimes assistance can come from corners you may not expect. It may be the complete opposite of the person that you thought might come to your side of agreement on the issue, right? I'm not agreeing with this motherfucker I'm about to play, y'all. This motherfucker's agreeing with us, okay? This motherfucker's agreeing with us. So, as part of a spending package or some monies that they were trying to allot in Congress, there was a House bill separate from the government shutdown bill, because the government is finna shut down because these niggas don't know what the fuck they doing. But regardless, they was trying to attach some other funding in connection to this FBI headquarters project that I believe did pass the House. But it wasn't without an attempt to foil the situation, shall we say. Florida Congressperson Matt Gaetz proposed an amendment that would fuck up this FBI headquarters funding shit, right? And when I tell y'all, I almost am reluctant to say it, but I have to say it because it is what it is. I mean, when I tell y'all that Matt Gaetz dropped bars on the fucking FBI. I mean, I guess even Machine Gun Kelly has a good verse here and there, right? Right? I mean, you understand, like, trash rappers can come up with some bars hither and thither, yeah? I want y'all to listen to this. And listen, you guys know, I would not play. I would not give you no actual time of no shit that I didn't actually find compelling myself. I watched these House proceedings with Matt Gaetz, and then he got opposed by another white man in Congress. And it was all very genteel and disagreeing. And even though Matt Gaetz was flinging bombs towards the FBI, they were like, "Oh, Maddie, oh, you're just so silly with your radical views, and we can agree to disagree." Anyway, it was all very, the way powerful white men speak to one another. Let Matt Gaetz been Black and spit this shit that he about to spit. I'm about to play for y'all. Let Matt Gaetz been a Black congressperson and spit this same shit, and let the reaction have been the same. But y'all, this is 5 minutes. Don't leave. Do not turn away. Do not turn away. I need y'all to hear this nigga talking this shit like this about the FBI in front of the House of Representatives. Can we please cede the floor to the congressman from Florida?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The FBI wants a massive new complex for their Washington, D.C. area-based activities. They want to spend more than $300 million on that complex, though the FBI has an employee base that's about 2.3% of the United States military. Mr. Speaker, they're literally asking for something that is larger than the Pentagon for the FBI, and so my amendment would disallow any planning, spending, distribution of funds for that purpose. I don't believe that the FBI deserves a massive new headquarters or Washington field office. The activities inside of Washington, the greater Washington metro area, have really driven a lot of the investigative work we've done. It's not bad folks from the FBI out at some field office in Middle America or elsewhere in the country. It is the Washington, D.C. based activities that have pressured other field offices for no good law enforcement reason. It's the D.C. based entities that have suppressed credible investigative leads into criminal conduct over the objections of other bureaus and offices. And they've initiated investigations into American citizens merely for engaging in constitutionally protected speech. They've attempted to entrap members of the United States Senate by holding false classified briefings. That's testimony we got from Senators Grassley and Senator Johnson. They've also worked hard to censor factual information harmful to their preferred political candidates, notably the Hunter Biden laptop story that the FBI based in the D.C. metro area were involved in cajoling censorship of. Building a new headquarters would condone, reinforce, and enable the Washington field office of the Federal Bureau of Investigation's nefarious behavior. We shouldn't do it, and we should adopt this amendment to ensure that's the case. I reserve.
Gentleman reserves. For what purpose does the gentleman from Wisconsin seek recognition?
Mr. Chair, I claim the time in opposition.
Gentleman is recognized.
And Mr. Chair, I'd like to yield 1 minute to the gentleman from Arkansas, Mr. Womack.
Gentleman from Arkansas is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and my thanks to the minority side for giving me an opportunity to speak. I rise in opposition to the gentleman from Florida's amendment. We're not always going to hate the FBI. I realize there are people on my side of the aisle that don't like some of the activities of the FBI. I'm not going to pick an argument on that. But what I will argue is that it is bad policy for the Congress to be taking steps to deny a federal agency that is in serious need, in my opinion, of an improvement to their headquarters. Now, notice I said improvement. I didn't say some massive, big expansion necessarily. But what I do know is that when I toured the FBI headquarters, I saw it in a state of disrepair that is going to need the attention of the owners of that property, and that's us. And so to deny the FBI the opportunity to be able to explore other alternatives, I think is a bit short-sighted. Give me an additional 30 seconds.
Additional 30 seconds.
Thank you.
Gentleman's recognized.
The fact is the building is crumbling, and there's going to be a need to do something. What that something is, I'm not an expert on, but I think it would be wrong for us to be taking this action today, pursuant to this amendment, without having at least a hearing and an opportunity for the people responsible for the facilities, FBI, GSA, any other stakeholder, to be able to help us understand what the situation is today and what the needs are of tomorrow. That discussion can take place, should take place, but I think it's a bit short-sighted and premature for us to be taking the action that this amendment would call for here today, and I yield back.
Gentleman from Wisconsin reserves. Gentleman from Florida is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, it is not my grave concern that the FBI's building is crumbling. It is my grave concern that the civil liberties of Americans are crumbling, and I wish we were more worried about that and less worried about whether or not we got new carpet and wallpaper at the FBI building. My colleague from Arkansas says that the FBI headquarters is in a state of disrepair. Mr. Speaker, it is the FBI itself that is in a state of disrepair. And so while my colleague from Arkansas may be right that we may not always hate the FBI, how about while we are most concerned about the things they are doing, we not go build them a new $300 million building? My colleague says there needs to be a hearing. Well, let me tell you about the hearing that mattered to me, and frankly, many of my Democrat colleagues who are also worried about civil liberties. The hearing where we learned that the FBI has conducted over 278,000 illegal queries on the FISA system. Or the hearing that said that the Inspector General found that 38 times an hour these people were violating FISA. The notion that we would stand here and defend them, frankly, is deeply disappointing, and I think those folks deserve to sit in the rat-infested J. Edgar Hoover building until they get their act straight with America's civil liberties. I reserve.
Gentleman from Florida reserves. Gentleman from Wisconsin is recognized.
Mr. Chair, I yield as much time as he may consume to the gentleman from Maryland, Mr. Hoyer.
Gentleman from Maryland is recognized.
I thank my friend for yielding. I thank the chairman for his comments. And I understand what the gentleman, Mr. Gates, is saying, and his ire is directed at people. The people will be transitory. People.
Yes, thank you for cutting off Steny Hoyer. we don't need to hear anything worse than Steny Hoyer. Guys, so obviously Republicans are cornballs by nature, right? They can't stick the jab. They can't stick the cut down. They can't stick the little dozens. If he did it, Matt Gaetz, that is, if he had been able to land that, and they can sit in the rat infesting J. Edgar Hoover building until they get their shit together. He stumbled all over that shit. It's like cornball ass nigga. You can't even get your line right. Just like fucking Nikki Haley, dumbass, trying to come at Vivek Ramaswamy, talk about keep my daughter's name out your voice. Who says that? Besides a soccer grandmama. Shut your ass up. Anyway, to be fucking clear, y'all, I don't stand with Matt Gaetz. But is it me, or was Matt Gaetz this close to saying stop Cop City? was he this close to saying stop Cop City? Because he said they do not need a brand new sprawling complex bigger than the size of the Pentagon. I'm not sure that that's accurate, but I got the gist of what he was saying. The FBI does not need $300 million to be building a new campus complex. Stop Cop City. I think that's what. Now listen, we understand that Matt Gaetz and Trump and the like, they don't fuck with the FBI, and them not fucking with the FBI don't have nothing to do with how poorly we have been treated by the FBI. In fact, all their indignant rhetoric is because of how they have been treated by the FBI, or those of their ilk have been treated by the FBI. And you know what? I don't care. The enemy of my enemy is still my fucking enemy, but in certain singular instances, we could kind of, sort of, maybe be maybe a little cool. A little, but not really. But maybe a tiny bit. Y'all, I don't want the FBI headquarters in Prince George's County. I might be alone in this. I don't think I am, though. I don't think I am, even though I felt as though the local media took deliberate pains to sort of cherry pick people who were giving favorable responses to this news, right? I don't think that my opinion is an unpopular sentiment. You have to explain to me, as a Black person, beyond economics, and economics, I don't doubt, are important, but again, plantation was good economics. You know what I'm saying? Just because some shit is good economics don't make it good for Black people. It don't make it a benefit and a boon for our community as a whole. And PG County specifically has seen these sort of projects kind of come and go. Maybe not on a federal level, but there have been commerce projects, retail projects that were touted as great investments for the county, and some of them turned out not to be great. FedEx Field, where the Washington Commanders play. I remember when they opened FedEx Field, the fucking cracker ass owner of the Washington R words, Jack Kent Cook, he was so arrogant. He wanted to name the area where the stadium was built. He wanted to name it after his sons. We got some old, as of people of age, certain age DMVers in the chat. Y'all remember he wanted to call that area Raljon. after his sons. You wanted to call fucking Landover. He wanted to call Landover. That part of Landover where the stadium is. He wanted to call that shit Raljon. Go around FedEx Field. Tell me what FedEx Field looked like, the surrounding areas, the surrounding communities. All the promised investment, economic investment, it didn't materialize. And now the stadium has fallen down. And now the Commanders, as a franchise, are looking for a new place to build a stadium, not in PG County. So I've seen a lot of these promises go not only unfulfilled, but in some cases outright broken. Now, this could be different with this federal complex of the FBI, but the FBI, that ain't it. If you're trying to do harm reduction, if you're trying to spread so-called equity around the DMV area, bringing the one law enforcement institution, not the only one by any means, but undoubtedly we could argue the FBI has been the worst one in trying to disrupt Black people's movements for freedom and movements for equality. How the fuck is that equity? How is it equity? How can anybody with a straight face, like these Sambo ass niggas like Westmore and Glen Ivy, look residents of this community in the face and tell us that that's equity? Well, the problem is that, I don't claim to be a teacher of political education, but god damn it, I got sense enough to know when I'm being hit with the okey doke. And what I've discovered, at least from watching the local media coverage of this, is that I don't feel as though a lot of my folks out here understand when they being hit with the okey doke. And that tells me that we have a lot of more work to do, because in no way, shape, or form can people think that just the mere presence of the FBI is somehow going to improve everybody's material situation in a whole county that has been disinvested in for generations. Just the presence of this one campus, this one building. And to be clear, 61 acres, that sounds like a little cop city to me. What the fuck does the FBI? These niggas is in a building. One. They are in one building right now in downtown DC. What the fuck you need 61 acres for, unless y'all plan on shooting at some targets, unless y'all plan on executing some shit. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? So it appears to me as though the Cop City movement, not the Stop Cop City, the pro Cop City movement is being expanded. As has been noted, obviously, by folks that have been covering this. But here locally, the proposal of the Cop City at Coppin State University in Baltimore, Maryland, is terrifying. And I don't see how this FBI campus is going to be any different, even though they're not framing it as such. Why the fuck else you need 61 acres? Why the fuck do you need 61 acres? So, because the whites are angry, influential whites, powerful whites, dare I say more powerful whites than the likes of Glen Ivy and Westmore, if Tim Kaine says, if Tim Kaine says, we got to look at this shit again. Oh, guess what? Oh, they about to look at that shit again. Okay. If other white men like Christopher Wray, the director of the FBI, saying that there was some higgy hagger going on with the process, they're going to relook at the process. Okay. Now, Joe Biden may be somewhat beholden to some Negroes, not more so than powerful white men. Y'all know this, and I know this. Powerful white men get Joe Biden's ear every time, but and twice on Sundays over that of an influential Black, right? So I don't think this is over. If Tim Kaine says this isn't over, I believe Tim Kaine. I believe Matt Gaetz. I believe that the white men are going to squad up, as the powerful whites tend to do. They will put aside their momentary political differences and get their way versus these Black folks, this representative of the Black misleadership, right? I won't feel no kind of way if this FBI project gets pulled from PG County. In fact, I will rejoice. That will be the correct decision. But it will be framed as racist. It will be framed as intentionally trying to shaft Prince George's County. So keep an eye on this fight, y'all, because it is indeed a fight. Like, this has turned into somewhat of a scandal here locally. I don't even know if it's getting any national attention, but I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued because it's my favorites. Well, one of my favorite genres. It is the powerful whites beating up on the Black bourgeoisie. I'll take that. Yeah, we'll take that. I don't care. Dude, y'all, the black bourgeoisie deserve to get beat up on a little bit. I will take it. So anyway, keep an eye on that situation. But you guys, the FBI should not come to PG County. We need to stop the FBI, Cop City, from coming to Greenbelt. Let me take a quick little break. Sorry. What time is it? Okay, we got some time. Come on in here. What's up, David Silberg? I see you up in the joint. Appreciate y'all coming out, coming true. Who else did I see in here? Hold on, let me get back to the Chiznat. Sith Lord Prince, thank you. What's up, Yipper? Big Two. What's going on, Big Two? Good to see you up in here. Give the video a thumbs up. What's up, Nat? Hey, what's up to Kane? Shout out Kane. Hi, Kane. You being a good boy, Kane. Oh, wait, Kane being a good boy. That's Nat's dog named Kane. Kane and Nat on Instagram. What's up, Lady Alex? Did I already shut you out? I think it did. Peace to Latif. Peace to Harley. Peace to Damien. Stoner Lunar. Yes, y'all. Quick reminder tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Time is the November Around the Fire Disability Support Chat. Every second Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern. Join us for a chat around the fire as we discuss issues about disability, being disabled, being next to disabled people, being a caregiver of disabled people. It talks about ableism and accessibility and cool shit too. Anna, Mama Lorraine, and Learn Life Abby always do a wonderful job of facilitating the conversation. They have allowed us to open it up to everybody because we are secure in our security. That was always my reluctance. I think I've expressed this at the support chat, but I was always like, should we just keep this for members and patrons? Because I don't want weirdos coming into the space when we're talking about, sensitive shit. But Anna said that we got this, so I'm rolling with Anna. So, be looking on the community page tomorrow morning. I usually post it Saturday morning. Patreon, it'll be up there as well. If you'd like to join us for the November Around the Fire Disability Support Chat tomorrow, Saturday, 11/11 at 5 p.m. Eastern. Oh, well, towards the end, at the end of the show, Will, you want to come back on and remind the people them about what's going on Saturday at Tubman House? I'm going to take your silence as an affirmative. Well, there you go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big up to the good bruv Kevin J, who made an appearance on the Remix Morning Show with us Thursday morning to discuss the issues about food insecurity in Baltimore, how redlining and racism has played a long role in that, and how groups like Tubman House are trying to put food directly to the hands of Baltimore residents, and our good brother Will is a part of that. So go back and check out this Thursday's episode of the Remix Morning Show. Actually, you need to check out all the episodes of the Remix Morning Show on Black Power Media. Y'all, the show's doing well. I'm very impressed, and I appreciate all of you. It is really all of yous. It's just every single one of yous out there. I see yous, Franny France. Hold on, Franny France ran us some money. It's all of yous in here right now. Y'all's be in the Remix Morning Show also. So I appreciate y'all watching, continuing to watch. Maybe you even told a person or two or three or four. And that's dope because I see the numbers going up. That shit is crazy. I'm like, yo, niggas is watching, son. That should be crazy. Hold on. What did Franny say? Oh, thank you, Franny. Franny said, for Baggy, our four-footed fire fam friend. Yes. Oh, yes, much love to Baggy, you guys. I'm so excited for Bags. Happy quinceañera. It's coming the 15th. Next Wednesday be her quinceañera. Maybe if her mama was some count, she would make a video and post it and shit. But that's asking a lot of her mama. That's asking a lot of her mama. But her mama might be able to get her shit together. Might be able to do some shit like that. But yes, thank you so much for any friends. Yes. It's been quite the wild ride with Bagheera. I now you guys know I've had Bagheera 12 years. She came to me when she was 3, but I've known Bagheera her whole life, and she's been wild her whole fucking life. Dog's been wild as shit. She's been wild. Y'all, okay, for any if we have any DC area people, real quick, I'll run it down. Bagheera used to run with some dogs, some other pit bulls, some unruly pit bulls. All right, y'all know, y'all been to the part of the Chateau where, like, in the neighborhood, there's always like one house or maybe two houses, but usually it's only like one. It's one house that's known for having them dogs, right? Them dogs. Man, them dogs is out again. Them dogs got out the yard. Them dogs run around the block. Them dogs is out there chasing kids. Them dogs, them dogs. That was the neighbor. That was the house that Bagheera spent some of her formative years in, and it was right there in Southeast. I want to say like like Malcolm X and Alabama Avenue, like all, like you almost couldn't get more Southeast DC than where Bagheera was, and she was part of them dogs, right? Them dogs would get out the fence, them dogs would terrorize the neighborhood, and Bagheera was running with them dogs. Okay, then Bagheera went out to Anne Arundel County, out Odenton somewhere. Then she went to Northern Virginia. Then she came to Laurel. Now she been in PG with me. So like Bagheera has been all over the DMV. She's the most DMV dog on earth. there is no more dog that is the DC, Maryland, Virginia area than this dog. And she's crazy. But it's been a wonderful 15. Well, for me, like I said, 15, I've known her whole life. So yeah. I feel like I'm talking about a celebrity. Like, I don't know. Like, I've known her whole life. No. I've been knowing her. Yeah, I've known her whole life. Chichimacha, what's up? Mm-mm. What does that say? Ghost of who? So who are those shit? I'm talking about the dogs bringing out new people. Lateef, be on your P's and Q's. What's going on? Anyway, let me keep it in Maryland, y'all, for my next story. Please give the video a like, a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share, leave a comment. For algorithmic purposes, you could just say comment. That's fine. I appreciate it. You know I do. Material support, BIDWKB, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Patreon. Also in Greenbelt, Maryland, coincidentally, Greenbelt's been all over the map or all across the news this week. It's been a big week for Greenbelt, Maryland. First, the announcement of the FBI headquarters, and then the conclusion of at least one of the trials of former Baltimore State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby. As you guys know, Marilyn Mosby, very infamously, was tasked with prosecuting the cops who murdered Freddie Gray, the Baltimore Police Department officers who murdered Freddie Gray back in 2015. She failed to secure a conviction. She also failed to secure convictions on Keith Davis Jr., despite repeatedly trying him over and over for a murder he did not commit. She harassed and basically tortured his family with these malicious prosecutions. And Marilyn Mosby was just not, I would say, a positive figure during her tenure as Baltimore State's attorney. She was a prosecutor. Inevitably, her job was to put people in jail. And because of a turn of events, it seems as though now it is someone else's job to possibly put her in jail because this week at a federal courthouse in Greenbelt, Maryland, Marilyn Mosby was found guilty on 2 counts of perjury. Yes, that's 2 counts of perjury in connection to a scheme, or maybe not say scheme. I'm trying to be nice here, even though I shouldn't be, have no reason to be, but her intent to purchase two vacation homes in Florida, of which she used some of her retirement funds that she was not supposed to withdraw, that she used some of her retirement funds as down payments on these vacation homes that she and her husband, Baltimore City Councilman Nick Mosby, hoped to use as potential rental properties. These motherfuckers is goofy as shit. Let us get the recap briefly, if we could, I believe we're going to go to Fox 45, who has always had a particular animus towards Marilyn Mosby, which is why I wanted to get their take. Is why I wanted to go to Fox 45. So, I think there's going to be reporter Mackenzie Frost reporting live from outside of the Greenbelt courthouse as the news of the jury verdict of guilty against Marilyn Mosby. To be clear, she has more charges pending against her. We'll get to those in just a moment, but we're about to see is Mackenzie Frost's live stand up from when the verdict was announced. And then you're going to get to see Marilyn Mosby coming out of the courtroom. And the media attempts to get a response from her about her perjury conviction. Let's take a look.
The verdict is read. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, so we just heard from the verdict was read in. The jury signaled that they had reached a verdict around 2:30, 2:45. We got word that there was something coming around 3 o'clock, and that we did learn that there would be a verdict that was read at 4 o'clock. So once everyone came inside, we saw Marilyn Mosby walk in shortly before 4 o'clock. She came inside, everyone sat down, then the jury was brought in, and on both counts, one by one, the jury read the verdict to the judge and said that they found her guilty on both perjury charges. Now, if we go back and look at this case, we know that this started on Monday. Opening statements started. We had a couple witnesses. It was a much shorter trial than originally expected and anticipated. So today, what is Thursday now, we know that she has been found guilty. We expect her to come out, potentially answer some questions. Throughout this entire trial, she has remained pretty quiet, not answering questions from the media. We hope we can ask her defense attorney some questions as well if and when everybody does come outside. Remember, Marilyn Mosby opted not to take the stand yesterday. That was the big question heading into yesterday, was that would she take the stand? She made the decision not to do so, and it came after prosecutors warned her that if she did take the stand, that they would ask her about previous tax deductions and questionable things that may or may not lead to more charges down the road. So now we know she's not taking the stand here, but remember that this isn't over because she is still facing 2 more charges for the mortgage fraud. That trial has yet to be scheduled. Mary and Kai, we're expecting to potentially learn more about the next steps. We just got the verdict moments ago, and hopefully I'll be able to share more information in a little bit.
Before we let you go, can we at least talk about, was there any reaction from anyone in the courtroom? Marilyn Mosby, her attorneys, any members of the jury?
So I was actually in the media overflow room. I wasn't in the actual courtroom when the verdict was read, so I could tweet it and make sure that I was able to get the information out to everybody as soon as possible. But from what I saw, it didn't look like there was too much reaction. It looks like we just have some more media people coming out right now, so just want to keep an eye on who's coming out. But as far as reaction, the judge was very clear. She warned everybody before the verdict was read. She told everyone to not have any reaction, whether it was from the defendant or anyone in the courtroom at all. So really no reaction right now.
And Mackenzie, we know as well, and you mentioned this, that from a procedural standpoint, that Ms. Mosby's defense team moved for a complete dismissal of all charges. Kurt Nachman said this was strategic. This was so they could set up a process for appeal. I know it's early. I know you left the overflow room, but have you heard anything about this second case in appeal so far?
Nothing about an appeal yet. We know that there were some conversations about the mortgage fraud trial during this conversation when we're talking about the perjury trial. The prosecution was warned not to mention very much about the mortgage fraud. We don't have a date for that next trial yet. So we don't have a date for the trial. We don't have a date for a potential appeal filing or even when sentencing. So even though we do have a verdict now, there are still a lot of unanswered questions about what comes next as this continues to unfold.
All right, Mackenzie Frost live outside the courthouse in Greenbelt with a guilty verdict for Marilyn Mosby tonight, 2 counts of perjury. Mackenzie, thank you.
Mosby is coming out right now. Here we go. See if she has any comment.
Mr. White, do you have any comment?
Any comment?
No comment?
Any comment?
Do you plan to appeal this?
What do you want to say to the people of Baltimore? Anything?
I'm blessed. I have nothing else to say. Ms. Mosby, were you surprised by the verdicts?
Ms. Mosby, do you plan to appeal this ruling?
If her attorney say no comment against
Any reaction at all? This seems upsetting.
You can see there.
Did she say she was blessed and highly favored? She was walking up the court. Y'all, all right, let me tell you a couple things about this. Okay, so to be clear, this perjury conviction stems from when Marilyn Mosby took money out of her retirement account based off the premise of financial hardship, that certain aspects of the CARES Act allowed people to tap their retirement if they was experiencing a financial hardship. To be clear, the same year that Marilyn Mosby withdrew this monies, which totaled $90,000 from her deferred retirement account, blah, 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 right? Marilyn Mosby was earning a salary of $247,000. 247,000, right? Now, mind you, that was just her salary as state's attorney. She was married to the damn Baltimore City Councilman, who I believe was president at the time. I'm not sure how long Nick Mosby has been president of the city council, but he's been a member of the city council for some time. City councils' salaries are usually hover baseline, maybe in the 80s, low 80s. So Nick Mosby at minimum was making 80 grand, right? Around the same time that Marilyn Mosby was making nearly $250,000. Okay. Now, for those that know, the black median income of a black household, even a two-income household, usually does not add up to $300,000 and some change, right? So the Mosbys, despite both being public servants, were faring pretty well, having a pretty comfortable life living in Baltimore, right? These niggas wasn't living in Bethesda. These niggas was not the real housewives of Potomac. You know what I'm saying? These niggas was living in Baltimore. And not to say Baltimore is cheap, but it's relatively more affordable than other areas of the state. And trust me, a household income of 300,000, with a family of four, the Mosbys have two daughters, they was doing all right. But see, that's the problem. This is how capitalism got the black bourgeoisie and the black misleadership in a fucking chokehold. Because for some reason, for niggas earning $300,000 annually in their household, that's not enough. It's not enough just to be doing all right, right? No, these motherfuckers want to earn their leisure. And everybody want to be a damn real estate baron. Everybody want to be an Airbnb landlord. And look at where this shit got you, goofy niggas. Hemmed the fuck up. Because at the end of the day, despite Marilyn Mosby having a little bit of political clout, despite her even having a little bit of money in the bank, for her to even have 90,000 in the bank to put her hands on. And some people argue, well, that's her money. She can do what she wants. It is her money. But here's the thing. This is where you fuck around with them retirement accounts. There's too many goddamn rules. That's why you niggas need to put your shit in the mattress. Okay? Nigga, you ain't got to ask your mattress for no goddamn permission to withdraw that money. That's your money. Right? But when you give your money to the white man, when you start turning your money over to the white man, then you gotta ask for permission for your money. That's how you niggas get fucked up, right? That's how you niggas fall off. This is how these niggas get hemmed up. Anyway, so right. Yeah, that was her money, but she had to ask the white man for permission. The white man said nope. And she said, I'm taking my money anyway. And the white man said, oh yeah? to fed charges. Because you know why? Even though you might be black, might have a little bit of money in the bank, might even have a little bit of political clout, you cannot do the shit the white people do, okay? And as soon as you try, as soon as you even think that maybe you might sort of could kind of maybe potentially a little bit do some of the shit the white people do, you get reminded, okay, that no, you cannot. No, you cannot. Y'all, Marilyn Mosby is 42 years old, young woman out here, very accomplished. And it is a shame that she now has these, when I say shame, you know, maybe if she were a more upstanding, more sympathetic character, I would feel more empathy for her. But all I kept thinking about looking at this story was, are the Davises raising a glass? Are Keith and Kelly Davis raising a glass? Because I know, were I Keith or Kelly Davis, I'd be getting drunk as a skunk to Marilyn Mosby's misfortune right now. Because I'm thinking about not only the Davises, a family that her actions, Mosby's actions, through willful, malicious prosecution and harassment of Keith, his family, and his supporters. Like, she really did make people's lives hell. She made a lot of people miserable. She likely even ruined a lot of people's life. She was trying to ruin Keith's life. And it's amazing. If you guys recall, months ago when these charges were first announced, and I covered them here on this program, we showed a clip of Mosby and her attorneys going inside the federal courthouse, being greeted by a well-known Baltimore activist named Shorty. And Shorty hollered out, "You Keith Davis done came out, and you and Keith Davis is about to switch places. Y'all about to trade places." I'm not sure what the sentencing is going to be for Mosby. Both of these counts that she has been convicted of regarding perjury carry up to a maximum of 5 years. I do not expect that she will get 5 years. I would expect that she would get some sort of probation, but for the fact that she was a black political figure, a black woman political figure in Baltimore. I would say that Marilyn Mosby might get probation, but given the precedent of former Baltimore mayors, plural, Sheila Dixon and Catherine Pugh, who both had to do jail time. Sheila Dixon had to do jail time for use of the gift cards that were intended for, poor people during the holidays. Catherine Pugh did some time, federal time, if I'm not mistaken, in connection to her book scheme, the Healthy Holly book shenanigans, where who was it, University of Maryland Medical Center, or was it Hopkins or somebody, she got to buy hundreds of $1,000s worth of her books, and it was some bullshit, and the feds caught up with her ass and put her ass in jail. So I would say that Marilyn Mosby should be expecting probation, but it seems as though the feds would really prefer that these black women politicians from Baltimore smell the inside of that jail cell. So I think there's a good chance that that's going to happen for Marilyn. And the fact that her legal woes are not over. She is still dealing with these other fraud charges from the mortgage scheme with the mortgage application, where she is reported to have made some false statements there. She still has to face those charges as well. They haven't even set a court date yet. So I just wanted to give you guys an update on the saga of Marilyn Mosby. I mean, we've been covering Marilyn Mosby in part for some time, and it's wild to see. I can't say grand opening, grand closing, because this has been years in the making, but it's just wild to see someone with such a bright, or used to be a bright political profile, national political profile, someone who garnered a whole lot of really undeserved support and praise simply because she was a black woman, giving the optics that she was taking on the system of police and policing in connection to the murder of Freddie Gray, but she did neither. And she actually tortured black people in Baltimore. So it's very apropos to see her humiliated in this way. I don't wish harm upon people. I don't even know if I'm wishing jail on this lady. I'm still got to process my feelings through all of that. But I find it ironic that someone whose job it was to prosecute and put people in jail might themselves, have found themselves prosecuted, convicted, and maybe potentially jailed also. Turnabout is fair play. Anyway, that's my show, gang. Let me say good night. Let me say sweet good night to all my Negro and non-Negro friends. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for all of your support and for coming through and for doing the thing. Oh man, I meant to make a poll and I forgot. I wanted to ask y'all a poll question real quick, because the Mosbys, right? Like the Mosbys was making $300,000, over $300,000 in their household income, annual household income. What kind of whips do you think they was pushing? Was Nick and Marilyn pushing the Benz? Was they pushing the range? Or was they trying to keep it at least a little humble and maybe push like a nice Volvo? You know what I'm saying? I understand that like nice Volvos can totally cost, right? But status symbol wise, a Volvo is not carrying the same status as a Mercedes or as a Range Rover, right? What y'all think Nick and Marilyn was pushing out here? And by the way, I think it's kind of hilarious that Marilyn Mosby is taking all of this fall by her goddamn self. Nick Mosby, apparently his name wasn't on shit. They ain't ran up and charged Nick Mosby with shit. Marilyn Mosby is the one who's been charged with things. Marilyn Mosby is the one who lost her reelection bid. And now Marilyn Mosby is the one who stands convicted in federal court of perjury. So all that just so they could be earn your leisure Airbnb landlords. Tell me what the Mosbys was pushing. Was they pushing what we say? The Hummer or the Lex? Ooh, who said that? Oh, that was Franny. What was they pushing? Latif is the car man. Latif, I want to hear from Latif. What did he say? The Benz or the 2.8 liter Range, maybe? You know what I'm saying? Them niggas could have been humble and just pushed the nice goddamn Volvo. But no, them niggas wanted to push Benzes and shit. They wanted to push Range Rovers and shit. Will, come on here real quick. Give me your prediction for what Nick and Marilyn was driving around Baltimore City. And before we go, please just remind us about the event that's happening this Saturday at Tubman House. Put a shirt on, Will. Nobody wants to see all that taco meat. Put your shirt on.
Why you like this? Why?
Because I know y'all like to walk around here shirtless with your belly out.
What I do in my free time and what you do with yours is your business, ain't that? And you know, if you from Baltimore, you gotta get a Honda with the Honda Coupe, 2-door, tinted windows. You know,
sir.
Some of them.
Do you think with that hair laid like that, you think Marilyn Mosby is pushing a Honda, sir? A Honda? A Honda.
to go to Safeway?
She not going to Safeway. She going out to Towson to the Whole Foods. What act? I need you to act. It's a food desert where the Mosbys live, nigga. That's the whole purpose of your. That's the whole purpose of your shit this week.
I've been in the area. I was like, oh, they live over here.
Yeah, they live over there. There's a food desert over there. You know, she driving her ass to damn Towson to go to Whole Foods. Stop playing. Or she going to Canton, going over to Canton to the Whole Foods. Yeah. So what
Canton.
they what? You ever seen the Mosbys whipping around town?
Nah, not whipping around town. You know, we interviewed when I was working with Eddie, we interviewed Marilyn Mosby in their office about some stuff. So
nice.
That's the only time I met her. She fine, but that's about it.
I know, but she be fine and terrible. She's fine and terrible.
Oh, you ain't been dating out here. But
I haven't.
Anyway, so let me tell you about
Tell us anyway, Will.
Let me tell you about Saturday. We at Nomu, 709 North Howard Street, Tubman House, social solidarity social, however you want to slice it. We're gonna be out there from 3 to 6. Music, poetry. I'm gonna be talking a little bit. You know, you get to meet me. Kev is gonna be there. You know, DeRay. We just had a first Tubman House baby, so you know, shout out and love to her. You know, new
when
mom.
You have your baby.
Just relax. I said that's my friend. That's my comrade.
Okay, congratulations to
Tubman House president, royalty right there.
Yeah. When your baby coming, Will? It's like I'm playing. Let me stop. I'm gonna leave you alone. Right. I'm gonna leave you alone.
Please, we focus.
I know.
So yes, please come out. You know, I would love to meet y'all. You know, if you can't, you know, just send your love. And follow Tubman House Baltimore if you can. I'm gonna put it in the chat. And yeah, I appreciate y'all. All y'all do, hit the share. Please just share. Even if you got to get on somebody's phone and do and subscribe yourself, like I've been doing. I'm like, you got YouTube. I feel like one of the kids. You got YouTube. You got games on your phone. Let me see. I'm like, I'm trying to teach, sir. No. So yeah, so check us out. I just put it in the chat. Follow us on Instagram. You got all our link tree and all our information, contact information, and calling about it. If you want to get involved, and we're gonna have other people there. It's just about us. It's about building and community, and showing, at least from my perspective, that we appreciate what everybody doing, and just continue to do it. And if we get more people just jumping in, a little here, a little there, it goes a long way. So love to y'all, peace to y'all. Thanks, Kim, for letting me have my couple minutes. But
anytime, young blood.
Peace. Love y'all.
Thank you, Will. Thank you so much. Respect what Will does out here in the streets and in the community. So at any time Will is doing something, we want to know, right? We want to support as much as possible because Will's a good brother out here. Eddie Conway, young bull. So yeah, that should tell you a lot. So there's that. So anyway, guys, that's the show. I'll see y'all tomorrow for the disability support chat, 5 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget, guys, if you're able to send some love and some material support to Jacqueline Lukman, our good sister from BPM. As all of you know, Jackie is receiving a new kidney next week. New kidney, who this? Very excited for Jackie, but Jackie also lost her job. Well, she got fired in the most righteous way. Oh my gosh. I'm such a fan of people getting fired, by the way. That's not specific to Jackie's situation. It's that I've been fired lots. So when I hear about other people getting fired, that shit makes I get hyped. I'm like, ooh, shit, you got fired. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. So anyway, Jackie got fired for the righteousness. So she needs some material support. So we are going to send Jackie material support. I will put it on the community platform when we do, because guys, for one, we do have a little bit of room to be extending support to folks. And that's only because you guys support the platform. And I need y'all to know that. You know what I'm saying? So when I do send it to Jackie, I will put it on the community section so y'all can know what the fuck we did. But it's never I sent money. It's never Burn It Down with Kim Brown sent money. It's we sent money. You understand? Because I'm sending y'all's money. You understand? So we done sent the money to all of us, not the one, not the five, the all of us. We all done sent some money. So, and I want you guys to look at it that way. Please and thank you. So anyway, on behalf of everybody, thank you guys so much. I'll see y'all back here Tuesday. Thank you so much to Will and Molly. And I love y'all to pieces. See y'all later. Bye-bye. Y'all be safe this weekend.